Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Patreon episode, the Tim Dillon Show's bonus episode. When does this go out?
This goes out, it's Sunday night. This is going to go out in 4 days.
Wow. Well, we hope nothing big happens. We just watched the Academy Awards. Amy Schumer did a pretty decent job, you know? And Chris Rock made a joke about this, 4 days from now. If you don't know what happened, I mean, what do you want me to do? So Chris Rock got, when we reacted to something this is really like not the way the internet should work, Mm-hmm. We're doing a reaction. It's going to come out in 4 days. But these are the demands of live comedy, which will be ending soon. We've got Australia, we got the UK, Scotland, Australia. I just threw a lighter in a bag of Del Taco by mistake, and I'm like rifling through it. Fuck. UK, Australia, Jacksonville, Charlottesville. No, Charlotte. Charlottesville. God, no. Charlotte, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Cincinnati, Cleveland. What else? Nothing.
So we go Jacksonville, Charlotte, New Orleans, Dallas, Austin.
Right.
Chicago, Houston, Cincinnati, Northfield, Ohio, which is Cleveland.
Right.
And then Sydney, then Melbourne, then Brisbane, then Adelaide. Brisbane.
Adelaide.
Then Adelaide, then Perth.
Perth. They want to maybe get the booster. I'm trying to get out of that, if I can. We're trying to finagle me out of getting the booster by saying I had COVID. I don't know if they care. But we are trying to get... I want to do the Perth shows, but I don't want to get a booster. I'm fully vaxxed, had COVID. Doesn't seem to be, logical to get a booster. Maybe it is. I don't know. I think I have strong immunity, and the booster, you still can get it. You still can get, the whole thing. So I have immunity, natural immunity, hybrid immunity, whatever they call it. So I don't want to get a booster to do Perth, especially when all vaccine mandates are ending all over the world. What did you think about the slap?
Great.
Will Smith slapped Chris Rock and then went back to his seat and yelled at him, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." That was the quote.
It's like old Hollywood. It's like Rip Torn and the guy from Jaws that would just punch people on set that played Captain Quint. What's his name? That Jaws actor. Robert Shaw. He would just fight people because he'd be so drunk on set and like beat them up. Rip Torn would get in fights at bars and like half paralyzed people. It's great that it's coming back, I think.
Well, then Twitter is now talking about like comedy and comedians and, workplace safety. Like any of them are going to host the fucking Academy Awards, These comedians are like, I don't think violence is funny. And it's like, yeah, okay, you don't have to, but you're also not going to get the job. You're not going to get the gig. Don't worry about it. You'll get attacked by a random person on the street before you ever get attacked at the Academy Awards. Trust me, you're safe. You're all safe from violence at the Academy Awards. I'm telling you, you are the safest you've ever been. People are tweeting about this like they are in danger. Will and Jada have a checkered past? I don't really know. I don't pay too much attention to these things. I've spent the whole day thinking about I got to call Sebastian because me and him have a similar joke, which I just recorded on my special. So out of courtesy, he's the bigger comic. I want to call him or reach out and go, hey man, just want to let you know I record. I'm not excited about that call. No. I don't care if he keeps doing the joke. We can both have a similar bit, but out of courtesy, he's the bigger comedian, and any comedian I would call, but he's, a planet. And I've made a few silly jokes because he's a funny guy. You can imitate him. So I don't know if he's, happy with me, but I don't know, I'm not excited about that call that I should make, that I will make. How do you think it goes? You think it goes well? I mean, because the thing is, I don't give a fuck. Like, you do the joke. I'm not calling him to be like, hey man, that's my bad. I'm calling him to go, hey man, a friend of mine saw you in Long Island. We're doing a similar thing. I just recorded a special. It's on there. I want to let you know. It's an easy premise. It's about COVID. It's not, the joke goes different places, of course. But, I talked to Rogan about it. Rogan's like, yeah, it's an obvious premise. But it's just, of all comics, had it been a Gaffigan or somebody that I knew, Louis, whatever. But Sebastian, I don't really know him. I don't know him at all. I'm a bit apprehensive. Who is this? What are you doing? Who is this? Tim Dillon. Yeah, what are you doing? You're doing my joke. Why don't you buy the bit? Yeah, you can buy it from me. $250,000. $250,000. How about that? No, I'm sure he's a gracious guy. He's the guy is, he's a great guy. He's a great comedian. I'm sure he'll be fine with it. But that's what I've been thinking about. I haven't been thinking about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, their checkered past, their troubled relationship, people calling him a cuck on Twitter. What has he let happen? What's going on? Is she fucking other people? I don't know. They're Scientologists. Why are we even analyzing? They believe in Xenu. Like, why are we even talking about them like we're trying to analyze their family dynamics? Like it's ever something that's going to make sense to us. They're trillionaires who believe in Xenu. So, I mean, how am I going to arrange that in my head so that it makes sense? We're going to analyze that don't analyze the Clintons or the Obamas or any, these people are just, it's a different thing. They're doing a different thing. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I just love the discussions now about workplace safety that comedians are now engaging in on Twitter. People are getting slapped for doing their job. They're getting slapped for doing their job. It could be you next. Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. Then Will Smith gave, a long, rambling, tearful, deeply insane speech at the Academy Awards, which is to be expected, again, from a man who is a billionaire or trillionaire or multi-hundred, whatever he's worth. What's his net? Maybe he's got less than I think. I doubt it.
Let's see. His net worth is $350
million. Yeah, it's enough to punch somebody on live TV. That is $350 million is enough money to slap a comedian on live TV. But he gave a crazy speech. He wanted to be an instrument of love, and he has to protect the people he's on set with, and he's a protector. He's protecting everyone on set. He's protecting the family. He's a man on the brink, and he's had a deeply human or inhuman, depending on moment, where he's up there tearfully because he wins the Academy Award right after he slaps Chris Rock for Best Actor, playing Venus and Serena Williams' father. And then he's basically like, yeah, I'm gonna protect everybody. Now, he made a joke about her hair. He said, G.I. Jane, I love it. She's had alopecia. What is that? The hair falls out.
Hair loss condition. Yeah.
So, but Will laughed up front. Then he looked at Jada. Jada was upset. Then Will goes, you know what? I'm going to walk on stage and slap this guy. And maybe he didn't know he was going to slap him, but he seemed very focused when he walked on stage. And he walked right up to him, slapped him, and then won an Academy Award. A lot of people are saying the Academy should have kicked him out. I don't know. You know?
So I saw during, I just found this tweet during commercial break, Denzel and Tyler Perry pulled him aside. Someone had a video of that. Some of the sit-ins or someone took a video of it. And that's what, so I guess Tyler Perry and Denzel sort of calmed him down during commercial break. And I guess the Academy didn't step in at that point because that's when they would have pulled him, is right then. They would have pulled him right out. But Tyler Perry and Denzel are just sort of around him, like kind of telling people, hey, we got this. We're good. We're going to cool him off.
Well, the whole show, and let's get into an uncomfortable topic. The whole show now, what are we going to say? What are we doing? The whole show is about representation. Right. That's the entire Academy Awards. The entire Academy Awards right now, rightly or wrongly, I'm just stating facts, is about race, sexuality, gender identity, and this year the deaf. Ability. What do you call it? Disability.
Disability, yeah.
That is what the show is about. It is not about the best things of the things. It is about showing that people that historically have been kept out of the Academy are now in it. Fine. It is what it is. You don't have to love that. I'm more of a fan of these are the best things, and they're winning because of that. But I don't have any problem in an acceptance speech with somebody going, hey, they always have done that. Look, for the kids out there that are deaf and queer and deaf, you can, try to do this for a living. Good luck, because you can. That's always the problem I've had with the Academy Awards. That extremely unrealistic, hey, for everyone out there, realize there's 2 to 3 spots for people like you, and I got one of them. That's always what they're essentially saying at the podium. There's about 3 spots, I got one of them. So, to anyone out there that's watching this, that's a young person that's inspired by me, I'm telling you, you can dedicate your life to fighting each other like dogs so that you can get one of the other 2 spots. And I get it, because it keeps the dream alive. I don't have an issue with that, per se. It gets a little confusing with the terminology, where it's like, I am the first, femme, non-binary, pansexual, neurodivergent. Like, it gets a lot, it's a lot for the speech. But I understand. So that is what it's about. It's what the Academy Awards is about. It's what they want to be about. It's what even the news. We're watching Channel 7 News afterwards, and they go, it was representation at a great night at the awards, and they're going into all the things. I don't really have a problem, per se, with any of that happening. But I'm not one of these guys who cares. I think it's good that deaf people won the thing. Nobody saw the movie, but whatever. Fine. My issue is how, I don't know, just nothing can be done with any subtlety anymore. Everything is shoved down your throat to the point where you're kind of like, wait a minute. You're making me think the film isn't as good. Or you're making me wonder if you deserve the award. If I won an award and I got up there and I said, as the first gay man from Long Island to concede that Trump had a few good points, winning this award, you start going, wait a minute, hey, what? So that's the way I've always felt. I think that people that are good should work, and people that are better should work more, and people that are the best should win Academy Awards. And I don't really care what those people look like, and I hope that those people, and they will be diverse if, you have honest people, casting these films, and because there is a market for all of those different things. But that's what the Academy's about, so you can't kick out the black guy that's going to win Best Actor. In the way that, it's just a difficult thing to do. Who's making that call? What old white dude on the academy has got to make that call and go, get him out of here? You know, I just think it's unrealistic with the way that the awards are set up right now. But, you know, I'm sure there was a thought about doing that. He did attack somebody. He did attack somebody for, you know, essentially doing their job. They're sitting in the front row. You get roasted in the front row. That's kind of the game at the Academy Awards. You know, Schumer did it. What if, you know, she said, COVID's been rough. Take a look at Timothée Chalamet. They showed a picture of J.K. Simmons. What if J.K. Simmons had gotten out of his seat, walked on stage, and smacked Amy Schumer? Number one, she probably would have kicked his ass. That being said, I mean, what if he had done that? He would have been asked to leave. If J.K. Simmons, and this is the whole thing now, that the gender, and well, it's a, you know, gender is a creation. Well, what if J.K. Simmons, for that joke, had gotten up and smacked Amy Schumer in the face? You know, now you notice Amy Schumer did not do the joke about Samuel L. Jackson. Wanda Sykes did. So you know, you can see already the way that things are working, where they're not having one host, they're having three hosts, and they're going, the black host will roast the black entertainers, and Amy Schumer can roast the white entertainers, pretty much, you know? And then maybe she made a few jokes about people of color. I don't really know. I don't think so. And I think that's why you have three hosts. I think that's in their head why they have three hosts, right? Like you have, you know, three hosts that are diverse, and they have the ability to kind of, you know. But, you know, Will did the wrong thing. He lashed out violently. What he should have done is like just insult the job of being a comedian on stage. You know, like when he won his award, he'd go, you know, thank God I get to make real art and not stand up on a stage and make jokes about my wife's hair. See, something like that, vicious. Just call the comics animals. You know what I mean? That would have been something fun. But he decided to slap him. And everybody thought it was fake, and it was real, and it was whatever. Sometimes I see somebody in my crowd walking towards the stage, and I'm like, oh, are they going to try to kill me or something? But usually they just, like, you know, lost a bag of Coke or something, you know? They don't know where their seat is. We just shot a special in Denver. You know, let's be honest about it. The second show was marvelous. But the first show was a disaster. The fire alarm went off right before I was about to get on stage. And Sam, our opener, Sam Talent, the very funny Sam Talent, did a great job. But when something like that happens in a taping, you know, tapings are already weird. You already have this kind of pressure. The audience feels that it's odd. And then you have 10 minutes. And as the fire alarm goes off, it goes, evacuate. There is an emergency. Evacuate. And, like, people are, like, wondering, like, what to do. And you're, like, running through the aisles telling people to stay in their seat. Yeah. It's not ideal. It's not the ideal way to start a special. The first show, the sound was fucked up. The monitors were off. It was reverb or something coming back. It was weird. The audience was drunk. A guy kept yelling. The first show is like almost unusable. Not all of it, but a lot of it, you know? And, you know, we're in Colorado, and it's like, you know, Denver's usually a great comedy town, and a lot of that has to do with the Comedy Works. It's one of the best clubs in America, and the audiences are trained to do the right thing. But, you know, we put everybody in a theater, and everybody, you know, we'll see what happens. But the second show is great. And that, you imagine, because you're going to be looking in on the editing of this, do you imagine, how do you feel everything went? What would you say?
First show, Nightmare. Second show, Beyond Purple.
Okay, good. Yeah. I felt a lot of pressure after the first show.
Yeah.
To make the second show great. And I was unhappy with you because of that. And I called, we're in Colorado, I called Florence ADX military prison because I wanted to drop you off there for a week. And they, they said I have to like charge you in a court of law. It has to be a whole thing. They also said that the things I were describing to them wouldn't even like. They said it sounded civil, not criminal. And they also said that even in a criminal court, if I got some negligent, that it really wouldn't rise to the level where you'd be incarcerated at the Florence ADX military prison. We'll wait and see. But, I mean, listen, you did a good job in certain aspects of it, but, it was, the first show was not fun for anyone, And do you feel like you should go without a salary for a year?
I feel a great deal of embarrassment and it's a great sense of failure.
Well, you know what the Japanese do? There was a Japanese engineer who fucked up a plane, and then the plane went down, and he killed himself because in Japan, they really do have it's honorable to take your own life when you have damaged others. It really is. There's a term for it. I don't know what it is. I'm not suggesting you do that. Don't be dramatic. But I know that you do love Japanese culture.
I do, yeah.
You do really like it.
I do.
You do like it. There is a term for that. I forget.
I kind of was on my seat the whole second show, and I was like, well, if this doesn't go well, I was thinking maybe I would just leave out the back. And maybe I'll just never see him again, because this might be the year.
The second show was great, and you really rose to the occasion.
For everybody wondering, because everybody's wondering about the fire alarm, we turned them off in the venue. The fire alarms were turned off.
Yeah, you kicked a few people out before they even got in because they were too drunk.
Yeah, they were really mad at me, and if you're mad at me, I'm sorry, but
fuck you.
You were screaming.
Hey, fuck you! I'm sending Will Smith to your house. They were screaming up from Long Island. I mean, some people should just be fans of things on the internet. Some people can't leave their homes. And if they do leave their homes, I don't want to ever come in contact with them. Mm-hmm. Not at one of my shows, not in a restaurant, nowhere. Some people are just truly animals. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to behave. And thank God we got them out in the second show, because one person can ruin a taping. One person can ruin,
It's completely, yeah.
the Academy Awards.
Completely.
One person.
Because even, let's say the first show, the guy in the front row, we did have security take him out when he's screaming halfway through, right? Let's say he starts throwing a fit, it gets dragged, and then it's weird, you can't reset.
I called him out in the middle of the show, and I kind of shut him down, but it shifts the mood of the room, because what happens is the audience gets weird. They're like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? Is that guy ruining it? What's happening? It's weird.
Sam shut him down twice before you got up.
Yeah, that's when he should have been kicked out. That's the problem. Kick him out before I'm even up there.
Yep.
But we have the special done, thank God. At the end of the day, it's like, people are still texting me, do you think it's real? I'm like, how dumb are all these people? But this is the whole thing. Conspiracies have gotten to the point now where everybody's like, dude, you think that was staged? I'm like, no, it's not staged. Will Smith is mentally unwell. Mm-hmm. Chris Rock made a joke. He slapped Chris Rock at the Academy Award. Now it all seems to be turning kind of on Will Smith, as you'd imagine it would. People on Twitter are like, hey, what the fuck? I'm going to vote in a poll. Do you think Will Smith should be charged with assault? I'm going to say no. People are saying yes.
Well, it seems younger people online, people are defending Will Smith, and then pussies in comics and blue checkies are defending Chris Rock. That seems to be where the split is, which is interesting.
Well, you don't have to be a pussy to say that somebody shouldn't be attacked at the Academy Awards.
Yeah, but I would put those people kind of in that category.
Yes, for sure.
Where they're saying he could have been killed by...
Judd Apatow said that. I mean, it's not unheard of that you could get cerebral hematoma, brain hemorrhage, something like that, where if your head hits the floor, if you get hit hard enough. I don't really know. It was a slap. I think Judd is reaching with that. I think he's stretching, but I mean, Judd has been off the chain for the last couple of years.
Off the chain.
Just saying wild shit. I mean, like, this is not a surprising thing. But a lot of people are, I get it as a comic. I get like, hey, shouldn't be attacked at work.
Right.
But I'm also not a roast comic. Like, I do make fun of people. The people I make fun of are usually behaving in an insane, ridiculous, absurd manner. Meghan McCain, Gary Vee, the Cuomos. Usually the people I'm making fun of are behaving crazily. Even if, I'm not saying they're all bad, right? I like Gary Vee. I don't think he's like a bad dude, and I don't even think all of his advice is bad. But there are some things he says that are crazy, and somebody needs to make fun of them, right? I've never been a roast comic. I don't do roasts. I'm not really good at it. It's hard for me to write about things I don't care about. I don't possess that skill of like write 10 jokes about that guy. I'm like, why? You know, the things I talk about are things that I care about or experiences I've had or things like that. That's why I never wanted to be like a monologue joke writer or whatever. Even on the show that we do, it's like there's a different vibe to the way that we do it. We don't do like, but up ching. I riff on things that I find funny, I think could be funny, or I'm trying to make it funny. But you do run a risk as a comic that goes after people, of people just fucking, you know, they've had it. And you know, Chris Rock. Now, what is Chris Rock like? What is he gonna do?
I saw that he has not pressed charges.
Well, he's not gonna press charges. But I'm wondering like how he addresses it. You know, do you think him and Will Smith have a sit down? You know, it's interesting that when Chris Rock is standing there, he goes, "I could," and he stops. You know what he was saying? He's like, "I could, like, I could say all this shit."
Oh, interesting.
When he's like, "I could," yeah.
And he just holds it back.
Yeah, he holds it back because then there'd be another fight or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also just can't go after, like, there's certain things you just can't do as a comic, right? If you bring out Will's, you know, personal business or whatever, it kind of makes, you know. So it is a wild event in comedy. I thought it was going to be like a very pro-Ukraine ceremony, but no one cared.
Amy had one Ukraine.
She had one little Ukraine genocide thing.
She said women are being...
But the Ukraine, you know, Zelensky thought tonight was going to be his night. Sorry. We're back on our bullshit. We're back on gossiping about people's marriages and fights. This is kind of the official end of the Ukraine mattering. I thought the Academy Awards were going to be like peak Ukraine. And guess what? Back to what made us great. Sex and violence. People debating affairs, marriages, and people punching each other on stage. There was very little. I mean, Jessica Chastain had a few things to say that no one understood about the state of the world, and then she was like, I want to emulate Tammy Faye Baker or something. I'm like,
the love she gives.
Yeah, I want to be like Tammy Faye or something. That was her. That was her response to the Ukraine crisis. That everybody should be more like Tammy Faye Baker. So again, God love her. Congrats. Don't know that made a ton of sense to anyone. Her speech was a little more rambling than Will Smith. Can you pull up the Jessica Chastain speech? Because it got lost in the insanity that was Will Smith's speech, which was fucking, like, unbelievable. But Jessica Chastain, it was also kind of wild. She's like, in a world where there's so much pain. A few people said that tonight. They're like, in a weary world, the world is weary. Great moments can still happen, like this thing that's happening to me. In a world that's all genocide and pain, every now and then someone gets a statue in a ballroom. And it makes it a little better. That's what all the speeches mean. It makes it a little better, doesn't it? In a world where people are killed by machines that are worth billions of dollars. In a world where flying death machines roam the earth, randomly killing children, every now and then there's a glimmer of hope. And that glimmer of hope is that I have won for best costume design. In a world where disease and famine plague far too many people, multiple continents, in a world where babies are cast out on the street, every now and then you have a good day. And today's a good day for me. Let's listen to this. Is Jessica Chastain.
She accepts the Oscar for lead actress.
Lead actress playing Tammy Faye Baker, and proceeds to come very close to a Will Smith style meltdown, because you gotta know she's in the back of the room and she's going, you know what? He's had the speech of the night. He got to slap somebody. I have to also get in there and turn up the crazy a little bit. And she did. Here's Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain,
This is the first Oscar in your nomination for Jessica Chastain. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. All right. So, thank you so much to the Academy for this. I definitely would not be up here right now. I probably wouldn't even have a career if it wasn't for Hilda Queeley, Paul Nelson, Steve Ward, and Nicole Perna. I love you guys. Thank you very much. I just have to say your guys' names because I love you. Kristen, Nicole, Penelope, Olivia. I love you guys so much, and to be included in the conversation with you is such an honor.
Here we go.
I have to thank Michael Showalter, my director, who created a space that inspired creativity and love and courage. The incredible hair and makeup team, Linda, Stephanie, Justin, who really helped me find her. Producers, Kelly Carmichael, Rachel Shane, Gigi Pritchner. I have to thank David Greenbaum, Matthew Greenfield, all of Searchlight for shepherding our film.
Still normal.
My scene partner and collaborator, Andrew Garfield, the brilliant Andrew Garfield. Thank you so much for bringing out the best in me by showing up every day with the best of you. Thank you.
Now here we go.
And right now we are coming out of some difficult times that have been filled with a lot of trauma and isolation. And so many people out there feel hopelessness and they feel alone. And suicide is a leading cause of death in the United States. It's touched many families, it's touched mine. And especially members of the LGBTQ community, who oftentimes feel out of place with their peers.
Okay, stop it for a minute. You know the acceptance speech has kind of gone off the rails when you just hear this. Suicide. I want to thank Andrew Garfield. You bring the best out in me by bringing the best of you. And now, suicide has touched a lot of people. It's touched my family and the LGBTQ community. They're offing themselves. Deer crossing the road. All right, let's finish this.
Here we go.
We're faced with discriminatory and bigoted legislation that is sweeping our country with the only goal of further dividing us. There's violence and hate crimes being perpetuated on innocent civilians all over the world. And in times like this, I think of Tammy, and I'm inspired by her radical acts of love. We've talked about love a lot tonight. And I'm inspired by her compassion, and I see it as a guiding principle that leads us forward. And it connects us all in the desire that we want to be accepted for who we are, accepted for who we love, and to live a life without the fear of violence or terror. And For any of you out there who do, in fact, feel hopeless or alone, I just want you to know
Please
that
see
you are
my movie.
unconditionally loved for the uniqueness that is you. And mute. Mio tesoro, Giulietta,
Here we go.
Augustus, you are my heart. And I thank you all very, very much. Thank you.
There we go. Jessica Chastain, everybody, on suicide.
Anthony Hopkins is off to the side, spacing out like the entire
Anthony
time.
Hopkins has no idea what he is.
He has no respect for
Here's the
it.
deal, Jessica Chastain, she's not wrong about a lot of the things she's saying, right? She's wrong about some of them. But it's just this very odd juxtaposition of things, right? It's very odd. Like, this is what none of these people get, right? It's, first of all, write a speech if you're going to do it. Like, write and memorize what you want to say. Hit a few key points and move on. Like, she's just like meandering, suicide, hate crimes, all over the world, legislation, suicide is one of the leading causes of death in this country. Okay? Alright? You alone! Anyone thinking of committing suicide right now? Rest easy in the knowledge that Jessica Chastain loves you. And listen, again, I'm sure she's a lovely woman. I'm sure like every other Hollywood actor or actress, she is criminally insane, but probably not the worst at a dinner. A little fun, right? I just found that speech, it's alarming. It's alarming. It's almost like we're at a point now where in order to help people, we're trying to make it worse. We're going to make it seem worse, in order to help. If you're part of the LGBTQ community, there's laws every day that they're passing. They're not going to let you outside of your house anymore. You won't be able to leave your home. There's laws being debated right now, bigoted laws for the LGBTQ plus community, where they're going to hunt you like axis deer. And you go, is that, like, I know there's laws, there's things about the transgender kid issue that people are debating. There's people in Florida are going, hey, we don't really want people teaching our kids about any type of sex or gender, before they're in third grade. It doesn't seem necessary. And the reaction to that, like Jessica Chastain is basically being like, you're all going to commit suicide. There are issues that people are debating right now that involve you. And the only thing you can do is commit suicide. Now, every group in America has had issues about, every single group has had issues and laws and things going on. And this infantilizing of the gay community, the trans community, as Katie Herzog said, it is now the word queer is a political and social identity. That doesn't really denote a sexuality, as evidenced by the guy who says, hey, I'm not attracted to men, but I'm queer. I love all kinds of women, but no men. I'm queer. And you go, well, wait a minute. That's not how it works. But it's become that. But the homogenizing of that community into this one thing where if you don't think that way, if you're a gay person or a trans person who doesn't believe, if you're Caitlyn Jenner and you don't agree with the zeitgeist culture on trans issues, you are shunned. You're ridiculed, you're mocked, you're belittled, you're shunned. Ditto any gay person who feels differently about something. So it's just weird, you have Jessica Chastain basically going like, suicide is up, and there's and by the way, like, let's say you were trying to stop the suicides. Would your next thing be followed up by like, many of you are committing suicide. And then you'd follow it up, like she followed it up. I go, because there are hate crimes all over the world. Violence, terror. They're gonna grab you out of your bed. And it's like, are you building the case for suicide? Or are you trying to get people not to do it? Which way are you going? Which side of the issue are you on? You know, when you start going like, yes, suicide. Like, let's say you knew somebody that was suicidal, right? You go over to their house and you go, listen, don't do it. Life's worth living. I love you. I know you don't have a job and you're not in love and you don't have any money. I know you don't look the way you want to. I know you have a fucking problem in your head. I know that the medication the doctors give you didn't work. I know that your boyfriend left you and you're never gonna get him back, and he's in a new relationship and you see it every day on Instagram and he looks happy, doesn't he, when he walked out on you? Doesn't he look happy and thrilled? And I know that hurts you. And I know it hurts that you can't have any kids. Didn't the doctor tell you that? And I know it hurts that you never pursued any of your passions and dreams in life. I know, but don't kill yourself. That's what the Chastain speech felt like. You're loved, even though everyone wants to kill you. You're loved, even though everybody wants to kill you and they're trying to pass laws and make it illegal just for you to exist. But don't do it, because you're loved. Jessica Chastain loves you. Yes, most people would want to see you put in a jail, but not me. I just don't think it's true. Now, I'm a masculine presenting gay guy. A lot of people don't believe I'm gay, but it's on my Wikipedia. You can Google it, because I'm Googleable. But I understand that, listen, we understand that there's discrimination out there, 100%. We understand that people face enormous challenges and problems depending on the types of families they come from, the types of, parts of the country they live in. We get it, and I'm not but the idea that there hasn't been a massive shift in the acceptance of gay people and even of trans people, and the idea that these issues that people are debating right now are all about discrimination. Some of them may be. There's some people that are just do not like gay people or do not like trans people. And if you were invested in everybody liking you, you could have a horrible life, truly. That being said, all of these issues cannot be easily dismissed and defined as hate or bigotry. It's childish. It's childish to define all of these issues that are being debated about trans health care for children and curriculum in schools, to distill them into just bigotry, you hate me or you don't, is childish. It infantilizes a group of people. You know, when they debated the N-word in the O.J. Simpson trial, and they were trying to get the tape of Mark Furman saying the N-word kicked out because they were saying there's no way, Chris Darden went, there's no way black jurors would be able to be impartial. And Johnny Cochran went, you're infantilizing them. You think black people can't remain, what's the word I'm looking for? Impartial? They can't remain impartial when they've heard this word? I just think members of the gay community and the trans community are stronger than people think. And I do think there is suicide, and the rates of that are higher in those communities, and that's a tragedy. And there's a few reasons for that. I don't think that they don't all boil down to bigotry. Some of them do, but some of them are genuine mental health concerns that in a country where people do not get adequate health care, veterans, people like that, you do see a higher instance of suicide. But that was my whole point about the Asian hate thing. I'm like, why are we telling young Asian kids that people hate them when there's been a few instances of crimes, but the vast majority of Asian people in this country are not discriminated against. There's no facts or data to back that up. And I think it does a disservice to young kids or adults or anybody to tell them that they are hated, and that any debate or any discussion about laws or curriculum in schools or athletics necessarily means that people hate you. It's not helping. Certainly not helping the case if you're trying to prevent suicide. We need adults in the country. We have like 7 left in America, and no one listens to any of them. But so that was my issue with the speech. I get a lot of what she's saying, and I'm not downplaying the discrimination people face. What I'm saying is, like, let's be very clear about what is outward acts of bigotry and discrimination, and what is people having a differing opinion of you. People are going to have a differing opinion of you if you are invested in other people's opinions of you. You are going to find yourself constantly at odds with happiness. There's never going to be, there are people that love my show, love me, hate me, think I suck, think I'm funny, think I'm overrated, think I'm underrated, think everything in the middle. Like certain things I do, hate other things. Like certain opinions I have, hate other opinions. There's no way out. There's no way to win if you're living in their heads. And if your self-concept now, this doesn't apply with you and me. You are always to look at the way I feel about you as your worth as human beings. That is this. I don't want you to take the wrong lessons from this broadcast. I think, I have to point that out. You're always to look at my opinion of you as the highest, thing. But I mean, I'm not. But that. So when I say you shouldn't be invested in other people's opinions, is other, not me. Other. My opinion is very, very strong. That is a great thing. But yeah, that was my whole thing with the current culture right now. The ethos of everything is like this is literally Chastain's speech summed up into a sentence, and the current culture right now summed up into a sentence is this: everyone's trying to kill you, but we love you. It's a schizophrenic message. It's a schizophrenic message to send. It's not really based in reality, but it makes for good TV. It makes for a good platform to get out there and be like, I know. Does she have any money, Chastain? Does Chastain have any goddamn money?
Let's see here.
Where does she live? I want to go to her house and go, Jessica, as a member of the whatever community, as the LGBT community, Jessica, I think I'm looking at this house right now. You overpaid.
She's got 50.
50 mil?
Mm-hmm.
Where's she at?
Let's see here. Jessica Chastain house. I bet she is a.
Let's bet.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the Hills.
Ooh, actually, weirdly enough, she's New York.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But some people do that.
It's fine.
A lot of great actors live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Where in New York?
Just snagged an Upper West Side townhouse for $8.8 million in 2019.
It's a beautiful purchase.
She already owned on 57th.
How about having a member of the LGBT community come over and hang out for the week? I get sad too. I'm also sad. Can I come to the townhouse? I won't judge it too harshly. Denver, man, I gotta be honest, kind of a dump. I say in the special, it's one mayor away from Portland, being Portland.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a dump here. I'm just not, these Western things, the West, or like the Pacific Northwest, or even Denver, the Midwest. I mean, what is Denver? What do you consider Denver? I don't even know.
Southwest?
Whatever it is. It's not for me, but it's not Southwest. It's not the kind of Southwest we're looking for.
Yes.
Northwest? I don't know what it is. What it is to me is, I don't know. As a city, it doesn't do much for me. But people love it. My friend moved here. She's a realtor. She's doing good. People love it. I just, for me, check please.
It's called the just Western United States.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what it says on Wikipedia here.
Rogan moved here for a while and then moved back. He lives in Boulder.
Boulder, Colorado. 4 months.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is about this place. I just, I love the comedy club here, the Comedy Works. But what I don't love is the everything else. I don't want to be too judgmental, but that is my job. Will Smith comes in and punches me, slaps me for insulting Denver. Keep Denver's name out your mouth! Has he issued any statement? Probably not, right?
I haven't seen anything. I mean, they're always good. She has that show where she, Jada's show, right?
Yeah, is it Red Table Talk?
Yeah.
It's on Facebook.
Yeah, that's right. And, she came out about that she was cheating and was having an affair.
Right.
And then they've kind of been in an open thing since 2019 in terms of to the public's knowledge that they have sex with other people. So
Right.
I wonder if Chris Rock ever did something with Jada and that is part of it.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know Chris at all, and I don't know.
We just met him that one time at the store. That was it.
Yeah, for like a minute. That's an interesting hypothesis from producer extraordinaire Ben Avery. Ben Avery alleging on the record that Chris Rock is in a relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith. And that's based on your sources?
I've found nothing about that. I just know she has sex with men. Some of the men.
Should I just put that out on
usually
Twitter?
look like him.
We'll just put it out on Twitter with just baseless, just
Yeah,
absolutely
sure.
baseless. Just go, hey, here's what's really happening. Here's what's.
Who's that TikTok reporter? What's her name? The lady.
I don't know.
Taylor
Lorenz?
Taylor Lorenz. My source, Taylor Lorenz, tells me.
Taylor Lorenz. She's writing a book now on online culture for the Times. Great. What a blessing.
For real?
Oh yeah. What a blessing. What a blessing. I'll be running to grab that book. But it was weird because Hollywood, claims to be like, they all hate violence. But all of the movies market violence, and then Will Smith gets a standing ovation, not a standing ovation, but he got a warm reception when he won, and so to me, it's kind of like people kind of see through. They don't give a shit.
Uma seemed a little cold when she gave him the kiss. John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson gave him a big hug, but Uma was
Because
a little cold.
Travolta's in the cult with him. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, what is Travolta gonna do? Uma might have been a little cold. Mm-hmm. Uma Thurman. I guess if you get in that world, though, it's just a fun world to be in. Mm-hmm. And, I get it, right? Like, if you're in that, if you're just really good looking and talented, some of them are very talented, some of them are lucky, but if you're in that world, you just get to inhabit. Now, I understand, of course they have to be, like, out-of-touch liberals. It would be weirder if, like, they were winning awards and they got on stage and they were like, work! Get out there and work. You want healthcare, earn it. Like, it would be weirder. It would be weirder if Meryl Streep won an award and got up and talked about the free market. It would be odd, right?
I think Kim Kardashian said that, right?
Well,
harder.
yeah, she's not an actress. She's,
Right.
Herself. But that's the whole... And I respect her. Like, I like her. I've never gotten a bad feeling from her at all. I know that certain people think she represents the demise of American culture, and what it may be. That being said, there ain't a hell of a lot of people representing anything else. So I never had an issue with her. Caitlyn Jenner is the dream guest on the show.
Yes.
Of all guests I've ever wanted in my life, I want to sing Farajaka. Get up, Farajaka. No, my goal, and I don't know if I would keep doing the show after this because I don't know what I could, how I could top it. But I want to sing Farajaka with Caitlyn Jenner. You have the words?
It's a French. I think this has the words. Let's see.
Yeah. And I want to sing this with Caitlyn Jenner.
This one does not have words.
Farajaka, Farajaka. Because my aunt used to sing
lyrics.
this to me. And when I was a little kid, when I was a baby. Or we'll sing, there'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover.
This one's, I think, with English lyrics, though, which we don't want.
Well,
We don't want the translation.
We do.
Oh, you wanted translation?
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
know what we're singing.
Okay, here you go.
Because I'm just singing in English just to let you know. And this is what I want to sing with Caitlyn. Brother Jock. Are you sleeping? Ring the morning bells, ring the morning bells. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. I mean, listen, would this not be a beautiful moment if me and Caitlin dormez-vous. There'd be something beautiful about that, transcendent. It would be the type of spiritual moment that could turn this rotten culture around, you know? I mean, that is my dream. Anything new on Twitter about this? I mean, in 4 days, no one will care about it. That's when the episode will drop. We did a good deep analysis here.
It's true.
What do you people want from me? I just love that it was like, the Ukraine thought they were going to get attention. How great is that? They thought they were going to get all the attention. They were an afterthought. Will Smith is the reason the Ukraine is going to lose. Will Smith took all the heat from the Ukraine. I love the LAPD. Like, we haven't received any reports about the incident, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what we need. We need the LAPD involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, yeah.
They're not going to do anything, the LAPD. And, Chris Rock is not going to press any charges. G.I. Jane 2 is trending. Yeah, wow. Everybody's posting the uncensored version from Australia TV. What a wild moment. What a wild moment. What if she does do G.I. Jane 2 now? Yeah, Jada was not happy with that joke. And then something snapped in Will's head. He's like, listen, man, I'm going to go up there. Interesting. Somebody made a good point. If Will Smith hadn't slapped Chris Rock, it would have known about Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia. I thought G.I. Jane 2 was about a strong woman with a shaved head. Will chose violence to make it a normal moment. Yeah, well, this is now what we'll fight about. Now debate workplace violence because of this. He shouldn't have done it, but, it's wild. I don't know, man. It was the first Oscars that was worth watching in a very long time. And I think the Oscars needs more of that. It needs more violence. It needs more unexpected, random acts of violence. And don't think Hollywood won't try to figure this out. They'll engineer fights.
Oh, yeah.
The next Oscars will be like that thing where the TikTokers box the YouTubers. It should just be fights, the whole thing. It should just be people running on stage to beat each other. And then, the viewers will come back. If you want to get tickets to any of my live shows, timdilloncomedy.com. The live shows are ending in early May. The special will be out in early May unless somebody buys it. Not likely. And then it might be out a little bit later, but we're going to try to sell it, but it may end up on YouTube. Probably will. That's where it's most likely gonna be, but we are gonna bring it to places like Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and HBO and whatever and see. If anybody wants to get in business with me, who's never slapped anybody at the Academy Awards. But timdilloncomedy.com, all the tickets. Second show was good, though. Special was good. No? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can make a great cut of the first one, too.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
true. You can edit anything. You can edit anything.
The second one was literally so good, though.
Yeah, there's not much editing that has to be done. So I'm getting ready to dump the material. I'm excited to be done with it. I'm excited to just be home podcasting. I know many people get upset when we have an audio-only episode or when an episode is 3 hours late. But we've been spending the last few months on planes, checking into hotels, going to venues. But I know it's never enough for you people. It's absolutely never enough. But again, suicide is the leading cause of death, so, many of you should opt for that, really, to be honest. Patreon kicks me off for that.
Right.
So you're out of here now? Farashaka, dormez-vous. What if you just cut to me and Caitlyn Jenner singing Farashaka, like, in the studio? Nothing would be, it would be a transcendent moment.
Yeah, what would the episode after that be?
I mean, just apologizing that we couldn't do that every week. I mean, she's the dream guest for the show. I've never wanted to interview somebody more than I've wanted to interview Caitlyn Jenner. She's easily one of the most fascinating people on planet Earth, and I think she would, I'm not even kidding now, she might not have been the worst governor of California. To be honest.
All jokes aside.
All jokes aside. But she didn't seem too committed to it. She left to be Celebrity Big Brother, which is not what you do if you really want to save the state of California. That being said, remember that thing of her driving in that little car?
In that little car.
Like, Madam Governor, and she waved and she drove by. Chicago Theater, please come out to that. The great Lori Lightfoot is opening for me at the Chicago Theater. Lori's going to do about 25 minutes. She's never done stand-up before, but she's reached out to us and expressed interest, and she's very excited about it. The great mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, opening for me at Chicago Theater. Going to do 25 minutes before I go on stage. Very exciting. She does some really cool impressions. She has some good stuff. She does a guitar number. Very funny. Do not miss. I mean, you know what I had my agent look for was a Lori Lightfoot impersonator.
Oh, that's hilarious.
A Lori Lightfoot impersonator.
That's great.
But I could maybe just get a homeless guy at a gas station and put him in a suit and get him out there. But I was like, you could find an Adele impersonator, Elvis, Trump. Trump, you could just pick one off the street. You can't get a Lori Lightfoot impersonator. And that's what I would want. I would want a Lori Lightfoot impersonator to go out and do something crazy. There's no way to get Lori there, right? No way.
I mean, this is the meme, but you could get Beetlejuice, don't we know?
No, I want Lori.
Oh, you want the real deal? Yeah, because
No way.
she's inimitable.
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 There's no way to get her, right? I mean, there's just absolutely no way.
I don't know, man. Maybe she'd love it.
Yeah. Because here's what I'd want to do. We finish the show by me and Lori Lightfoot doing the Macarena. Hey, Macarena. If I could do the Macarena on stage with Lori Lightfoot at the Chicago Theater as a celebration of COVID finally ending, I mean, could there be anything better than that? We are reaching a point now where the simulation is glitching to a point where, it's wild. So I don't want to put anything past possibility. Because there are things that are possible in this frequency and in this dimension that may have not been possible in other dimensions. And Lori Lightfoot at that show would be beautiful. If you know her, tell her we love her and we'll pay her. We'll give her good money. We'll donate a real good amount of money to the charity of her choice, which will be herself. And that's fine too. So look out for the special. Of course, we'll talk to you before then. Next episode, it comes out from our studio, which is pre-recorded. Jessica Kierson, very funny comedian. She's done Rogan. Bill Burr produced her special. She's one of the best. And we talk a lot about the fat acceptance movement. And we have a lot of fun doing that. We will see you soon.